My scenario is I have a gentleman that I was friends with. We met at a church, and we were just friends, mostly in group settings. But um, we were both on leadership, so there was, an aspect that we both had responsibility to the church. And so after a few months, I noticed that he was expressing interest towards me. So um, I thought I was a little too forward. Some of the things he was saying, so I let him know, hey,
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand you. You said
sure.
he was expressing interest in you, and then I lost the rest of it after that.
Yes, he didn't actually say I like you, but all of a sudden he started to send me like good morning beautiful texts and flirtatious texts that made me uncomfortable because, as far as I knew, we were just friends and I didn't really have interest beyond that. Or at least I didn't know, but I should let him know that I wasn't comfortable with him saying those things without stating, his intentions. But fast forward to now, a year and a half
You did
later,
tell him that? You did tell him that?
I did at the time. I told him right away, yes.
And you
So
said, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with this because we're just friends. Or you said, I don't feel
yes.
comfortable with this unless you tell me your intentions.
Well, no, I just said because we're just friends. But in my head, I was like, it would be different if you just came out and said, I like you and we had a conversation about it. But kind of
Okay, it's
the
kind of
skating around
sideways.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you have any interest in him as more than friends?
No, I don't. Well,
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you the end part and then it'll make sense. So a year and a half later, which is now, I start
Oh,
getting messages from my friends saying that he's convinced that I'm his wife and that he would say things to them like, look at her today. She looks amazing. That's my wife. So I found out that from the day that we actually met, he had this very strong conviction that he says was from God. I was his wife. And he's been waiting for me to come to the realization that I'm his wife. But
okay.
I
So
feel
what
so
happened? What
strongly.
happened back when a year and a half ago when you told him, no, we're just friends and I just want to be friends? Did he drop it with you at that point?
Um, he did drop it. He did not press the issue.
Okay. And he
He
just
later
acted
told me
normal?
that he tried to go back to normal. Yes. There was one other time that it happened a few months later. I guess just him testing the waters. And I just let him know where I was.
Good.
So fast forward when I did end up addressing the issue once my friends told me he thought we were supposed to get married, he told me that he backed up at those times during those times because he thought that I was resisting what God was doing, and he wanted to give me an opportunity to come to the realization of what was supposed to be.
And
So,
have you seen any visions come from the sky with the two of you at the altar being lowered down from the heavens? Have you seen that?
no, I have not seen any of that. So
Yeah, I
I think no, I just
Okay.
think that the pressure of that made it all the more, I never had any interest in him, but now even if I did want to say like, okay, I'll go on a date, for me it's scary because in his head I'm already that
Well,
in his
wait a minute. Whoa,
mind,
whoa,
and it's
whoa.
just
Would that be something that you would be interested in? I thought you had no interest.
I don't. But as I was
Okay.
processing through it, like, would I give it a chance, even though I don't have interest? I mean, because we've had a chance to be friends, like we've had a
Yeah,
chance to
you would know by
get
now
to
if
know each
you
other.
had any interest. You've been around him a lot for a year and a half, right?
Yeah. Right.
You
Yes.
would probably know. I mean, sometimes people go, "Whoa, I never looked at you that way," but you're
Hmm.
you're pretty certain.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what's the
So I
question?
blocked him after I told him. I just wanted to. Well, I wanted to get your
I
thoughts
don't hear a
on how we're
problem. I
actually.
mean, I hear him kind of, pining away and wasting a lot of time when he could get on down the road. But what? How can I help you?
Well, I want to focus more on me. This whole thing did shake me up a bit, and I realized I have some insecurities, right, as far
Hmm.
as dating. I mean, even though I wasn't interested in him, what I realized is I have this real fear of somebody being that serious. That really alarms me. Why are you that serious? And I just think
Well,
that
was he doing anything dangerous? Was he stalking you, or you know,
it was
like
creepy, but he wasn't dangerous. I will say that.
well, creepy in that he had it in his head that you were the one?
Yes, I would say probably monitoring, but not like in a way where I would ever be in danger.
Okay. So give me the question again. I mean, I would just, you've told him, dude, I'd probably tell him, hey, I heard the other day that you said you still think, you're holding a candle out for me. But if I were you, I'd put that thing out because we're not going anywhere.
Mm, okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you might say it nicer than that, but I don't know. But it might be interesting. Why do you still think this? Why do you still think this? I've already said I'm not interested, and really that's not going to change, but
Mm-hmm.
but I would really encourage you, Joey, to, go find a good relationship because it's not, it's really not going to be us. I'm your friend.
Right.
Actually, I
I
really
actually
can't be your
told him.
friend though if this is going to keep going. I don't know if I
I
can. Maybe
know.
I mean maybe you can, but I
Yeah.
would
Dr. Clyde,
yeah,
I
I'd
actually
be
had to block. I actually told him and blocked him. I had to just create some space for a bit. Um,
great.
yeah.
But
But
what's the
I wanted to
question?
find out. I felt so bad about that. Is it okay that I just blocked him? We did have a conversation, and I let him
No,
know.
it look, you don't owe him anything. Listen, this is this is a good boundaries lesson. You don't have to apologize for not
Mm-hmm.
feeling comfortable with somebody and not wanting to be around them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
this is a pretty good little boundaries formula for everybody that's listening. Just learn to say this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable with that. I don't want to do that, and so I'm not going to. Remember
Mm-hmm.
that formula. I don't feel comfortable with blank. I don't want to do blank, and so I'm not going to. And I'm not even going to feel like I have to justify that or explain why. So in this instance, you know what? I don't really feel, after what you shared, and it's been going on a while, I don't really feel comfortable with having my social stuff open to you, because I know you're perceiving our relationship different than I am. So I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't really want to have you as a follower. And so I'm not going to do that. Period.
Mm.
Don't feel bad about it. It's like if somebody knocks on
Okay.
your
Thank
door, there's no obligation to open the door.
you. That's true.
Okay.
And I have one more quick little question as a follow up because I realized that brought up in me kind of like this awareness that I have this fear of kind of, I guess, a fear of intimacy. I have not dated in lots and lots of years. And now I'm like, okay, well, this thing made me realize I want to be at least open to dating someone I am kind of interested in or, would be willing to develop that interest in. So,
Right.
do you have any just like basic tips for,
To
I
being
don't
open
know,
to dating.
being open?
Is there any reason
Yes.
why dating would be injurious to you?
Um,
I mean, peanuts are fine for most people, but some people have an allergy and they can't eat them or they get sick. So dating is fine
yeah.
for most people, but if you've been wounded in some way that hasn't been healed and it might be injurious, you might want to take care of that first before you get back out there. Is there any
No,
reason?
no, nothing happened.
Yeah,
It
it's not
doesn't
going to
happen.
hurt
I
you
would
in
just
any way.
say, yeah, no, nobody really, I've never been in a, like, any type of harmful
Yeah.
or painful relationship. It's just because I think the culture that I've been in has put so much pressure on coffee dates. So I'm like, I
Oh
definitely don't
my
align.
gosh.
It's not just
Are
coffee
you
date.
in one of those kind of like the courtship worlds?
Mhm.
You're kidding me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? I wrote a book kind of to combat all that stuff. It's called How to Get a Date Worth Keeping. And
Okay.
I'd suggest you read it. It
Okay.
might be helpful. And also, I'm going to gift to you a free admission to our dating seminar on March 24th, right here, having a 2-hour dating seminar. And
Oh.
is when I hang up here, Albie's going to get your info, and we're going to gift you a free ticket to that. And let me give you one little tip. You want to take the pressure off of dating, then take the pressure off of dating. So don't see dating
Mm-hmm.
as any, I'm going to find the one and this has to turn into something serious. See dating as I'm going for coffee. I'm going to go for dinner. We're going
Mm-hmm.
to go for a movie. Going to get to know this person. We're going to go for a walk. There's no rings. Nobody's showing up with any rings. It's okay. So start
Mm-hmm.
there where there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing at stake except having a nice evening with hopefully a nice person and get to know a human and have a meaningful interaction. Awesome. Take the pressure off.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Thanks for your
Thank you
call.
so much,
And
Dr.
gosh,
Cloud.
if you're in that whole courtship, ah,